restart for the 20, but he slides into the 54. Around goes Denny Hamlin in front of the field.
Lock it down, 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 lock it down.
Kyle Busch checks up.
The field come by here. Let him come by here. Get it fired up if not.
Kyle Busch trapped up against the wall, and the 20 of Denny Hamlin. A little too aggressive on the again. Had the line on the 54, but maybe a little bit too hot coming in.
He just had to chase the back of the car, meaning he got loose getting in the corner. He couldn't turn the wheel. If he turned the wheel, he was going to spin out. So he had to turn the wheel back to the right. When he did, he just kept going up the racetrack, kept pushing the 54 up the racetrack. Eventually, he spun out. But that was all about getting free. See right there? He's loose. Can't turn the wheel. Now he just has to chase it up the racetrack.
And what a veteran move by the 54 of Kyle Busch. Feels him into his door, and he chases it up the racetrack, knowing if he doesn't give the 20 of Denny Hamlin room, they're all going to end up in a pile. Yeah, I mean, Denny Hamlin doesn't want to come up the racetrack here. Kyle Busch doesn't want to go up the racetrack either, but he knows that's his only option at this point.
This racetrack's so tough. Kyle Busch did the right thing by taking the outside, but he took the outside, and he almost got wrecked by taking the outside. But that you have to pick that choice.
Riding along with Denny.
Still up there. Still there. Hang on to it. Lock it down if you can. Lock it down, 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 lock it down. Let the field come by here. Let him come by.
You see him up the racetrack. Great job of the spotter. You know, if he just locks it down right now, he's probably going to hit something. See the rear tire spinning? He's in the throttle. He's in the gas. Has the rear tire spinning to keep the car from going backwards. The spotter says lock it down when he sees the momentum has stopped going backwards. Caution, got 74 having trouble.
Mike Harmon in the 74. Slid sideways.
Kept it on the wall.
Caution comes out for the 4th time.
So what I was saying is I think teammates kind of they always want a little more from each other. So watch the 20, drives underneath the 54. He's not trying to run into him. He gets on the bottom, has to chase the car up the racetrack again. He's not wanting to do this again. I mean, he's not wanting to get into the 54 again. He's driving in the corner a little too hard, trying to get the position. You can see the back of the car. He's chasing it, runs up the racetrack. I mean, ultimately, it's his responsibility not to run into his teammate, no question about it. But he's not doing it intentionally.
This is the reason for the caution. Mike Harmon all the way down into the grass. We thought guys were a little bit low when they were running on the apron. Mike got into the grass. He was so low on the racetrack. Got a smoker, the 2 of Brian Scott. Brian was running 5th, and now onto the apron, and the caution comes out.
Oh, the decisions that have to be made now.
35 laps to go.
A tough break for Brian Scott. Had a good solid run going. We've seen that a lot this year. We've seen him run really well and just not be able to get the finishes.
Now you just see here off turn 2, the white smoke is a bad sign of oil and water and hot exhaust coming in contact, and none of the 3 should be in contact. Something's obviously let go under the hood. The engine's expired, and there's just nothing a driver can do at this point.
Get him throttle.
30-28. 30-28.
It's like Jack Roush used to tell me, it's never good when they let the smoke out. Smoke's supposed to stay in the engine.
Unfortunate for Brian Scott.
No, it is really unfortunate. Brian Scott has led more races than, or run in the top 5 of more races to not get a win. When I think of guys that really just deserve a win, not only because of how fast they are, but consistently how fast they are, Brian Scott continues to come to mind. You hate to see, I mean, there's nothing he or the team, you know, engine failures happen in this sport, but it's got to be disciplined.
Back at CTMP, there is a very used-up Mustang that sat on pole for today's round 5 of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. Fortunately, driver Scott Maxwell is out of the car, seems to be okay after a vicious trip into the tire wall. Let's take a closer look. On board with Maxwell.
See here the battle there. He's getting a run around the outside of James Vance in the 78 Mustang as they get towards the apex area of the force contact. A huge impact with the tire wall and the Armco. You
can see as he gets hit here, it's very hard to say who was where on the track, who was in the right or the wrong, but the fact is this was a very fast impact as he went in there on the right. We've talked about it all through every broadcast ever from this track. It's very catastrophic if you get it wrong, like this happened there.
And again, this is steeply downhill, so the car really is not losing much speed as it skitters along the grass.
There's Scotty, thank goodness he's walking away. And he said you have to be on maximum attack here at this racetrack. And we talked about it. They got shuffled back in the line with the pit stop that was a little bit slow. And there's the remnants of this essentially brand new car that debuted just a couple of weeks ago at Watkins Glen.
Caution has come out from New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the second time. Debris on the racetrack and the flames rolling out from the right side of the 7 of Alex Bowman.
You know, we've seen this before at the short tracks. The 7 had an issue with the right front tire. Looked like he melted the bead, came down pit road, got a new tire on it, but didn't clear all the old rubber, I'm assuming, off. Well, no, I disagree.
Yeah, we're going to disagree. It is not out, and the driver's climbing out of the car. That's Alex Bowman jumping out of there.
I think he was telling him to get out. At least that's what he needed to be telling him.
Yeah.
And what happens
there's a fire suppression system under there that will try to help put that out.
It tries to help, but that fire is what was left of the flat tire on the right front brake rotor. These brake rotors are ridiculously warm. And what happens is after you remove the old tire and put the new one on, if there's still some strings or some cords on there, that's really just like a wick to a candle. And once it hits that hot rotor, you see what happens. Big, big flames.
So there's some debris on the track. That's why the caution came out. We saw the 7 of Alex Bowman make his way onto pit road with the right front tire down, and all of that heat that had built up. The tire was actually on fire when they took it off. They put the new tire on, and apparently there was still some flames underneath that car before he left his pit stop. As they are working to get that Speedy Dry off the track now, they had to put the fire out underneath the right front of the 7 of Alex Bowman. He came onto pit road with a flat tire. A lot of heat builds up in there, Steve. And we're hearing that there's a little bit of communication going on between the 9 team of Sam Hornish Jr. Marty.
They were on pit road. They got 4 tires. Well, Paul Menard pretty high up out of the groove. You know what those 4 tires does? It's not just about fuel. Wow, the 27
he's got a tire rub now.
Smoke.
There was some contact made and a lot of tire rub out of the 27.
Stay up, stay up, stay up. Left side, guys.
He's trying to get to pit road. It's very congested right now. It'll be a hard left turn. Will there be an opening? He's not going to be able to make it.
That's a huge mistake and a huge penalty not to make the cone. You know, you got to turn inside of that pit cone. If you go on the outside of it, there's a huge penalty for pitting.
Right down smoking.
He was not able to make that. It's very difficult, though. The spotter was trying to tell him Paul just needed to stop a little bit sooner, let all the cars go, and then turn left and get inside of that pit cone to get on pit road.
And the 27 spins trying to get the pit road. Now he's sideways. He's off the racetrack enough, though, that maybe able to stay green. Nope, NASCAR decides to throw a caution.
So the caution will come out for the 5th time, as Paul Menard has struggled to get onto pit road. He had a little contact on the left side, caused a tire rub. They were in fear that it might cut that left side tire down. So with the tire rub, he's going to try to get to pit road. And around he goes. And this is why the damage to the left side of this car caused the tire rub.
Yeah, I think they had actually hit before in the middle of the corner. We saw him way up the racetrack before that. Tire was already smoking here. There was contact, I think, with the 5 car in the middle of the corner.
88 is making his way onto pit road. Points extremely important for Clint Boyer as he's 16th on the chase grid.
Whoa. That crazy loose getting in the corner, had to chase it up the racetrack and ended up bouncing off the wall. That was really loose getting in the corner.
Justin Allgaier also with smoke coming out from the right front of the 51.
Right now, goodness me, the safety crew are there. And let's try and figure out how this happened. Strongly past half track, and that's incredible. Well and truly airborne across the finish line. I mean, that car is doing in excess of about 450 kilometers per hour when that happens. And well might they be panicked after seeing that again. 2007, it happened in the other lane, and I cannot believe that it's happened to him once again. The concerning thing about that crash for me is how the bottom of the chassis rails have hit the concrete wall too. Fuel pouring out from the massive fuel line that goes underneath this car. This is what the crowd would have seen. And you just can't imagine that that has happened again to Phil. We'll have to wait and see. We'll wait on a word as to how he's doing.
In the 19, he just slid right up into that wall, nothing he could do.
And he's the guy with probably as much dirt track experience out here as a lot of people.
Oh, around goes Griffin.
Yep.
Jake Griffin will have to either make it through the heat race here in the top 5 or the last chance qualifier. He will not be able to fall back on any points to get in this field.
There's about to be a lot of work on the 00. Cole Custer.
Yeah, Cole Custer was following the 80 car. I'm sorry, excuse me, the 80 truck of Madeline Crane, and she got up into the outside wall, slowed her momentum, and he was right behind her. You see right there, that's the 80.
And Madeline just was pedaling it because she was about to jump over the cushion. Cole Custer has no way of knowing that she's not going to hit the gas and go.
We saw so much work being done. Oh, and Sauter backs it into the wall. Yeah, that's a pretty good hit there.
Well, he just got loose sideways on entry.
Yeah, way early. That's the middle of the back straightaway right here. Watch him pitch it as he gets down here. He was going to try to go underneath the 82 truck of Sean Core and just didn't have the grip. Significant contact with the outside wall. There's Jake. You see the pink truck right there. Just trying to get that power down, and this never could corral the back of that thing. Yes, it is.
This goes around well before the bump we were talking about off turn 2.
So Christopher Bell have to just crank that wheel, get down below once he saw him start to go. That was the 14th spin in this session. Big key is we're dry, and the racetrack is perfect. Exactly what we expect for a dirt track. Plenty of mud.
Yeah, quite wet early on there. You saw so much mud on these trucks, and we had a few trucks get into the outside wall, more than a few probably. That's Ben Kennedy with some pretty significant contact.
And this is a truck that's been really fast all day long. Bobby Pierce, but he gets a little bit overexcited entering turn 3, and around he goes. Most of the action, Ralph, was down in 3 and 4 with trucks spinning there repeatedly.
Yeah, a lot of guys trying to find out how early and how hard they could get on that throttle.
There's Eric Jones, our pole sitter last year for this race.
Ty Dillon in the 33 in the Ream truck. He was quick.
Yeah, and he could win this race tonight. So just because you see your favorite driver spinning around, don't think his chances aren't still great for winning.
There's Cole Custer, the 00 round as well. How about Brad Keselowski, Cup champion, first time on dirt? He gets turned around.
And Christopher Bell on the 54 was good all morning. Even he had his issues.
See Brad Keselowski, there are some bumps off turn 2. He hits those bumps and gets high off the corner. So in a hurry, Phil, like right there, you could see heavy contact in the outside wall. Look at the way the back end's all bent over. She keeps going, and I'm thinking it must have busted her oil cooler or maybe knocked an oil line loose because...
yeah, there was definitely some oil on those right side tires, and she drove it all the way back to the garage area. Hopefully she didn't run it out of oil pressure and do some terminal damage to
coming off at 2 is where there was that big bump. Had a chance to
tie into the wall.
Yes, he is.
The 15th spot of the 16 trucks that have gone so far, and he's going to spin around.
Oh, man.
Keep it out of the wall. All right, not only did he keep it out of the wall, he got some style points.
Yep.
Kept it heading the right direction.
Nice 360.
Four-wheeler, he's
water truck, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, he's constantly monitoring. Oh, around goes Hayward.
The 74 coming off of turn 2 brings out the caution with 3 to go.
This could be one of the restarts of the year. Oh, Gallagher!
Yep. Round he goes in the 23.
Holding ground. Is able to stay.
Oh, there goes the 1. And he keeps it going.
Charge. Oh, we got a spinner on the front.
The 08 goes around, and the caution comes out as Corbin Forrester spins coming off a fourth. We're coming back to Eldora. Hope you do too.
If you're, say, Matt Crafton or maybe Kenny Schrader,
big
we got a
contact
crash.
on the back straightaway at the entrance to 3. John West Townley is involved. The 50 is involved of Knowles, the 35 of Erickson, who's made it into his first Mud Summer Classic after missing it last year.
Yeah, the 35 of Erickson was coming to pit road. He was black flagged for starting too soon, so he was coming to pit road. I wonder if he maybe slowed down so much. See him down in the bottom. Oh, look, there was some contact there. It looked like Spencer Gallagher got into the 15 of Chad Boat, and that's what started that.
Yep.
Wow.
Just caught the rear end of that truck.
Erickson was coming to pit road, and that's just a bad break.
Looks like Sean Corr involved too.
Forrester got together. Watch Travis Popple. There goes Popple around, and then everybody trying to slow down behind him made some contact, and it put Forrester into a
All the way
spin.
from the top all the way to the bottom. But 4 and 5 wide here may have something to do with this spin right here. Probably going to be some contact. Looked like Chad Boat, the 15 truck, got into that left rear quarter panel of the 23 of Spencer Gallagher.
They're going to get by him, but he... Oh, hang on, Brad. Just drive it down to the bottom of 3. How about that? He just was... Man, that was
I
awesome.
think the track bars bent, Phil, some of the rear suspension possibly.
There's some damage right there from the 45 into that left rear quarter panel. I'm not sure if the... See, the right rear is definitely down. I'm not sure if the left rear is down or not.
See if we can check out what happens, John West. You can see just in the middle of the track, no contact, but his 05 truck spins around. Townley's on the lead lap.
What he might need is another caution. And guess what? He just got it.
Leaders right in your corner.
Peters brings it out here, coming off at turn 4.
Wow. Wow. I mean, simultaneous wow. This is why you come watch trucks on dirt. This is so dramatic, so much heart, so much desire from those front 2 trucks.
Timothy did a slide job on John Hunter Nemechek and just overcooked it a little bit into the corner. Didn't quite make it.
Nice job by John Hunter not to run into him.